On this episode of BurnDown, we go on like 2 or 3 failed field trips, but I ended up with the flatbed trailer, and I'm gonna fill you in on what we're doing with the Maliboom. So keep it locked.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You crazy mother.
What is up, everybody? My name is Dane Thompson, and welcome back to another episode of BurnDown. So today, what I have planned, as you can see, I got an empty garage. I'm in between, kind of waiting on another project to show up. I got to do some cleanup, but it's really kind of hot today, and I've been working my face off for the last probably month, solid. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. I want to go on a field trip. So there's a company called DNA Motoring. I found them on eBay shopping for cheap turbos. I'm an advocate of sloppy mechanics. I love everything that Matt Happel does. I follow along with all his stuff. Honestly, I build junk motors because I watched that guy do it, and I was like, I'm calling BS. I'm gonna do it myself. If it's that easy, there's no way. Well, it is that easy, and that's how I got started. I watched him do it, and I was like, if he really is just throwing these things together, that's just stupid easy. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is. So now I do it myself, and I enjoy the turbos and the LS junk motors, and I just have a ball with all this stuff. But what I will say is it was VS Racing, I believe, is the company that Matt is affiliated with. He's not part of it or anything. He just used the product the guy had made, and he found them on eBay like a long time ago. And they used to have turbos that were fairly cheap. And there's another company called CX Racing, and they used to just dump turbos. They were all cheap. Like in the beginning, when the whole cheap Chinese turbo thing kind of took off, they were the guys moving like a bunch of them, I guess. As far as I know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know CX Racing is local to me out here. I don't know where VS Racing is. And as long as I've been doing this, I always eyeballed all the stuff that VS Racing has made, and I picked out ones, turbos. I'm like, oh, when I have the money, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. And it got to a point by the time I was finally able to turbo my car, and I was like, I just don't really have any money. I just want to put a turbo on it. By the time you buy the turbo and all the components to make it turbo, it still adds up, even if the turbo is like $500 or $700 or whatever. So me, for my car, for my money, I was like, you know what? I'll just buy the cheapest one I can. We'll put it on, even if it just lasts for a little bit. I'm fine with that. And then we can always just replace it, because now I'm all set up to be turbocharged, and then we'll just replace it with another T4 turbo, and it's not that bad. Just reroute the plumbing a little bit and bada boom, bada bing, right? Well, now I'm in a situation where, maybe in the future we can go twin turbo, because I was like, maybe I can upgrade this turbo to something a bit bigger or better. T4 body, VS Racing makes some nice billet wheel stuff and all that. And then the cheapness in me just kicks in, and I look at the price tag of these things, and they're kind of coming up a little bit from where I would want to spend, as far as a turbo is concerned, because if I started spending decent money, I'd buy a name brand. I would buy Borg-Warner. I'd buy, Garrett is way up there, but you can get into a cheap Borg-Warner. They're a good starter. And then obviously Garrett. And then there's Precision and all those other guys and all that other fun stuff too. Bullseye, and, the list goes on and on. But to be cheap and to just get started and to roll, like I have a single, and I was like, well, I can upgrade. I can do a bigger single. Like I can go T6 single, or I can just go a T4 body, which is what I have on there still, with a bigger wheel, that'll make some more boost and spin faster, maybe light off a little quicker. And then I looked at pricing, and I'm like, man, I could just get another $150 turbo like I have on there, stuff it on the other side, and then if it lags like all get out, I got a buddy, because I kind of kicked the idea around on the internet, and he said, dude, I got a nitrous kit for $50 that'll light whatever turbo you put on there. For $50, just buy a bottle. So I'm like, well, shoot, now I can have twins, and I can light it off with some nitrous, and we can really party, which sounds like a terrible idea, which is what we do here. That is what I do, and I think it would be fun. But what I've decided to do, instead of just get all crazy and just throw 2 GT45s and stuff, because my car already lags. It doesn't spool up to like $3,000. A little bit more now because all the volume of the intercooler and everything. There's a company called DNA Motoring. They are basically it's the same turbo that's on my car. They sell them for like $200 on eBay. And I bought mine for $150 because I shopped around. I'm like, I'm just buying the dirt cheapest one ever, because I thought I'd pretty much use it for mock-up and have to throw it away. And it works fine. It works great. Actually, as a matter of fact, the reason I didn't really pull the trigger, because I was skeptical on this, was the House of Boost. My buddy up in Canada with the Blow Mini Cooper that's an animal, Dario. He wrote me on Instagram when I was like, oh, thinking of pulling the trigger. He's like, you're fine, we went deep 10s on that thing. I'm like, if Dario can do it and he signs off on it, I'm buying it. Well, I haven't had a problem with it since. The thing's great, it lags a little bit. That's probably due to the size and the motor combination and all the stuff that I have. And I'm not really complaining about that, but I think 2 of them on a 5.3 would probably be terrible. Like it probably wouldn't spool till you were already at red line. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there, I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not some turbo guru, but what I think is DNA motoring happens to be very local to me. I got a little bit of time today because I'm in between projects. So you and I are gonna go on a field trip over there. Just kind of walk in the showroom, see what they have. Maybe they got a turbo that's maybe a little smaller size than what I'm running now, but possibly we can put 2 on the car, which would be just for fun. Like honestly, and even with the turbo I have on there, I paid $150. If I bought another one, I'm in $300 on 2 turbos. So looking around at turbos that people sell, you're gonna be in between the $500 range and up. You know, like this one is a great starter turbo, gets you going, and then all of a sudden you need more power, more boost, it needs to kick in faster. You just start reeling on this thing. And I don't really need to do any of it, but I kicked the idea around. I'm like, if they're selling one turbo for like $700 or $500, whatever they cost, I could buy another one of these and I'm in $300 for 2 turbos. And then I can even buy another name brand wastegate, probably get it either used or find a deal on the internet, and be in cheaper on twin turbos with 2 name brand wastegates, damn near than I would be if I bought just one decent turbo, no wastegate. So the plan is I'm gonna just go down to DNA Motoring, go in their showroom, look at what they have to offer, talk to them, see what they have for like a twin, for an LS combination, and maybe we'll just try their stuff because it's, once again, it's cheap. They're local to me. I can see and touch the products and everything. And then if I just blow them up and they're whatever, I can just go get other ones. And then I'll test them out for you guys. And so then that way, if it works out, you guys will have a new spot that you can go get an ultra cheap turbo and essentially do what I'm doing, which is I'm starting at the bottom. I know that Sloppy Mechanics and Matt has just done several million turbo builds and a bunch of stuff, and he's sick of just beating a dead horse. So he has moved on to bigger and better things, which is phenomenal because one day I will get there as well and I will just follow his lead like I did with all this other stuff. But at this point, I think it's necessary to still remember the little guys like myself, and we're gonna go bottom barrel scraping, and we're gonna find another setup that'll make some power, be reliable, decent, and then you guys will be able to get them for cheap. And then I'll just be the guinea pig. If they don't work, we can all laugh about it. If they do work, you guys will have a new spot to go find some turbos and to load up on them and make some turbo noises, make some power. It's gonna be awesome. So let's go on a field trip. Let's go to DNA Motoring, shall we? That's how hot it is today. Huh, girl? You hot? That's my old girl, Stella. Stella's hot. Okay, let's get out of here. All right, let's head on over to DNA Motoring, see what they've got, kind of stay out of the heat for a little bit, and then we'll come back home, clean up, and I actually do have, I got a few little paint projects to play with or whatever. I won't bore you guys with that. But yeah, it was like 106 or something yesterday, 104. And today it's supposed to be like 100, and then it's supposed to kind of break tomorrow. So I would rather be lazy and sit in my AC truck and go stare at turbos I can't afford than sit in a garage that's gonna be 105 right now. So let's go do that, this will be fun. All right, we made it here. DNA Motoring. So, I don't know if they have a showroom, I don't know anything. I just decided to take us on a field trip. So, let's go see what they got, see if I can film, and go talk to some people about some cheap turbos. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. All right, well, that was a complete waste of time. Not only do they not have a showroom, it's just will call only, and they have no physical catalog. They pretty much have nothing, so I have to do it all through the old internet, which I could have done from my house, but you never know. They are local. So there's the building, and nobody to talk to, just a couple girls at the reception area and a bunch of people picking up turbos or whatever. So I guess we will motor on somewhere else, and we'll go to the internet and see what they got to offer. So sorry for the disappointment there, but that's it. Let's go back home. What a waste. All right, so we came all the way back home. I had to do a few more things. I ended up actually getting more stuff to work on. So I've got a little, it's actually a lawnmower hood or whatever. It's gonna go They're going a flat track dirt oval cart anyway. So yeah, left to go look at turbos, ended up with work. I don't know how that happens. And it's still blazing hot. And I was like, you know what? I still don't feel like going in there and doing stuff. Maybe when it kind of cools off a little bit. So, new plan to waste even more time is I'm gonna put a 9-inch under the Maliboom here sooner than later. I have the housing, I'm working on collecting parts. But what I really need before I get all that stuff done and put it together is I need a new set of wheels. I need a 10-inch wheel so we can run, I'm gonna run a small tire. So either a 275 radial or like a 28, 10.5, 15 slick. So I haven't decided on which one of those I'm gonna run. I'll have to talk to my boys over at Mickey Thompson Tires, but either one of those will take a 10-inch rim, which I do not have. So there's a company called Vision Wheels. You guys are probably familiar with them. I believe they're the ones that supply all the wheels to Jegs for the Jegs wheels. So what we're gonna do is drive over there. They're like 3-4 miles from my house, and see if they have some sort of a showroom, get some good pictures, and I can do some mock-ups on the Malibu to see what style I like. And then yeah, so we'll go do that. See, maybe they have a showroom. Probably gonna strike, if we strike out twice, then that's just a bad day, and I might as well get to work. So let's go, shall we? All right, so we struck out 2 for 2. Apparently nobody really stocks their wheels. They mainly drop ship, which, so I think they pretty much make the Jegs rims, wheels. They make the mags, and they make the Star rim, and they all come from right here, like 4 miles from my house. Well, they probably come from China, and then they machine them or whatever they do here. They didn't have anything I could see or touch or feel. They don't have anybody local that's gonna stock them, and you just, I guess if I see them at the track, I can look at them. I did have a set of the Stars on the front of the Maverick, which were nice enough, and then the F-Bum ran the Star rim. So I could do the Star or the Mag, and then the plan is I could just wheel call them here. So that is kind of the plan if I order these wheels, although I do like the Jegs spike wheel, but again, I haven't seen that or touched it in person, so I don't know. But we went 0-2 today. That sucked. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of a waste. I was excited to like see turbos, and I was excited to see wheels, and I didn't see squat. I just got to see the inside of my truck again. We are gonna go on an adventure. So I tried this earlier in the week, because usually I like to do at least a couple videos a week, and we have like a heat wave in California. So it'd been well over 100 for, I think it was 3 days in a row. I don't have a project yet. It should be showing up today. So I was like, well, we could just kind of go on a field trip. I can sit in my truck and enjoy the AC instead of sweating at home. And we'll go look at some cheap turbos, and then that didn't work. And I'm like, we'll go look at some cheap wheels, and then that didn't work. So then I was kind of like, well, shoot, I don't have any content this week. So I figured what I would do is we'll give you a bit of an update on what we're going to do with the Maliboom, and then I have a special surprise today because we are going to go get a trailer. So I've only owned one trailer so far in my whole short wannabe racing career, and it was an enclosed I got from a buddy. I didn't even have a truck to tow it, so he brought that over to my house, parked on the side of my house. I owned it for like over a year, trying to get all my crap together. By the time I was able to buy a vehicle that would tow the trailer, I had already sold that trailer. So now we actually have a truck that can tow, and now it's time to go get a flatbed. I don't want to do the enclosed thing right now. I think the enclosed is kind of a pain, at least for what I'm trying to get done. I just want to be able to hook up and then go to my local track, which is like Irwindale or Fontana, or drag it out to like Arizona for zip tie or Vegas, but just quick local stuff. I think a flatbed's the way to go. The enclosed takes up too much room and space at this point in time right now for what my program is. Maybe if it grows and I get a bunch of stuff and I have to like fill it with all my stuff, and we're traveling to go racing and all that, and I need the room, maybe. But right now, it's just local back and forth, a little grudge racing action. When my crappy car breaks down, at least I have a trailer on hand. I can go pick it up. So it will be peace of mind, and it's also freedom, because now I can take the car. And I know a lot of you guys are like, well, it's, a street car, daily driver type race car thing. Well, it is, but eventually the car is going to get fast, and then the car's going to get caged, and it's going to get all the stuff, because I want to grudge race it and use as much as possible. I want to make the thing as fast as I can on the budget that I have, which is minimal. And I know that I can make that car quick enough to where it's just it'll be a little ridiculous. But I would like to keep plates on it and keep insurance. So like the street car style racing where you got to do the cruise and all that stuff, the thing will have a full radiator, all that stuff. It'll be able to sit in traffic. It's just one of those cars that, unless there's a purpose and a reason you're taking it somewhere, you'd probably, if it's hot or if it's a crappy day, you'd rather drive in something with AC, with mufflers. But if it's like, hey, we need to do this cruise so we can race the car, you know, that's fine. If it's being an idiot trying to drive it to Vegas next year and then race it, maybe that'll be a thing. Or I know they got zip tie. We'll have to see how that goes or whatever. But those kinds of things are cool. Like, or maybe even driving to Irwindale here and there, just make some hits and drive home. But even if I do drive it, if it dies, I have a trailer. I don't have to call my boy Jonathan with his tow truck and all that fun stuff, or borrow a trailer or bug people. I can just go get it. So that is exciting. Other than that, it's funny, I got one piece left. I forgot to do this when I did the blue car you guys saw in the other video. This thing was hiding in the corner and I was like, oh man, so that piece is done. That's the last piece of that pie. That thing goes home. And then I have a helmet back there. That's gonna be for the Earthshaker monster truck driver. And we'll showcase that after he gets to see it on the channel. But other than that, let's go grab a trailer and we'll kind of check that out. And then we can go over some of the plans for the Maliboom. I'll show you kind of what we got going. Where are you? Aha. Aha. It's hard to get a trailer without a hitch, so hopefully this is the right size ball. Loaded up, ready to go. Let's go to the trailer spot. It's local in town. Dude's name's JT. And let's go get a flatbed. This is awesome. All right, here it is. Got to put the little jack up or whatever. It is an 18-foot extra wide Carson trailer. Got my blinkers working. This thing's rock and roll. Very excited. We'll take it home, wash up, and show you guys. All right, we got a trailer. We're towing it home. Hopefully knocking the dust off this thing. Oh, running deep yellow lights. Don't mind me. I'll show you guys when we get home. First trailer tow. All right. Check this bad boy out. So it is a 18-foot extra width. So I think it's as wide as you can legally go. And then it's 18-foot long. So I don't know what it is total with the tongue, but I went with a couple extra feet so my car's not hanging off. And then I went with the extra width because if I ever haul something else, something with wider tires or who knows, I'll have it. And then I had two options. I can go with an open centered trailer that was steel, or I could go with a wooden deck at this price point. Obviously they have tons of options and you can spend as much money as you want. This was where my budget was. So it is bare bones though. They don't sell you anything, like they don't give you anything extra, like even the little pin when you latch it, like you figure you buy a trailer, they could at least throw like a pin in or something. Nope, nothing, zero. So there's like no wheel on it for the front, the little caster that usually a lot of the guys, you'll see those, they have them. That's an extra feature, which makes sense. Spare tire, all the stuff. And then I don't have straps, I don't have a winch, I don't have nothing. I looked at used trailers and they're all so beat up that I barely paid a bit more for this one. It's brand new. And then the trailer brakes, tires, wiring, everything is new. I don't have to mess with it. I can just haul my car. So that's why I went new versus used, because used, they're all like a couple grand and they're beat up and used up. And I figure I could just use this for a while. If I grow out of it or I need something different, I could probably pretty much get most of my money back for it and then just jump up to the next size or whatever it is I decide I need. But this should be more than enough. This should serve me for years to come. And I'm excited about it. All right, so on the Maliboom. So here's the plan. I've been swamped ever since I got back from LS Fest West. I had a hell of a time over there. Once again, the guys at Holly, everybody was awesome. I had a great event. It was the second year I'd been. I've actually been to all three of them that they've had out here, but I've taken my car to two of them, which I'm very proud of, because the first year I went and I was like, man, you got to bring a car to this. And that's exactly what I did the following year. Even though I struggled both years with the vehicle. Anyway, that's besides the point. So we're back from that. I caught up a little bit with some work and things that I had to do. So now life's kind of getting a little bit back to order and back together. I can hopefully get off the gas a little bit on as far as like work stuff or whatever, working on other people's cars, and focus on my car. So what I'm gonna do is I'm trying to get the car ready to take it on July 6th to Irwindale. I'd like to run it. I'd like to set up a grudge race, but my car is technically not really running like it runs, and we made boosts, and that's the last time I touched that car, taking it anywhere. So actually, with the new trailer I just got, I'm gonna drag that thing hopefully this coming week back to the dyno, and we're gonna whack that thing with some boosts this time and see what kind of power we make, because last time I went, I didn't even post any numbers, but the car made, I believe it was like 475 with less than 10 PSI of boost, and it was pig rich on the fuel, and we had no timing in it because we were trying to get the boost to come in so we could kind of line the tune out. We never did, and that's how I loaded it and took it to Vegas, and I fouled plugs. That's how much fuel we kind of had in it, waiting for boost to show up that never showed up. And so we're gonna take that thing back, see what it'll make. I'm still shooting for like 600 at the tire, which should be reasonable. It should be attainable, hopefully, with the setup that I have. And then we're gonna run it July 6th, see how we do. Hopefully it stays in one piece, but I have all my Power Glide parts, so as soon as I can, I'm gonna rip into that thing. I'm really excited to put that together, but that's not the only piece of the puzzle. If that's gonna go in, I'm also going to put a rear end in, because now I'm gonna have a trans brake. I'll be able to build boost at the line, and the rear end that's in the car right now, it's a 10 bolt 8.2 ring gear, and I am surprised it's still alive. I've heard some people say, well, yeah, you're just foot braking, but yeah, I'm still making over 500 horsepower at the tire, technically. Well, almost. I made that on the dyno, sort of Ford and whatever. Anyways, it's a lot for what that rear end was meant to handle. So we're gonna give it one more go on July 6th, and then that thing is coming out. So when the Power Glide goes in, the 9-inch will go in. So I'm still collecting parts on that. I'm almost done with parts. I gotta get axles, but I don't really know the width. So I need kind of wheels. I need to do a measurement before we cut it down. And then I have to see what size cut to fit axles they offer. So that's the next step. But we're getting close on all the parts for the 9-inch. I have the housing sitting right over there. I keep staring at it. But we got to cut the brackets and do all that stuff. So we'll do Power Glide, a 9-inch, figure out the driveline situation, because the Power Glide's a different size driveline than what I have now. And then we'll probably upgrade the U-joints while we're there. So the plan essentially for the Maliboom is take it to the dyno, see if we can make 6 at the tire. If we do, we'll make sure it runs good, everything is good to go. I will try to put some form of grudge race together, so if you're listening, you're watching, and you run around a similar time as what the Maliboom runs, you want to come race July 6th, you know where to find me. I'm going to be at Irwindale, and I'll run whoever, it doesn't really matter to me. Granted, obviously, if you have a super fast race car and you're just going to cream me, I'll still line up with you, but that's kind of not fun. If you got something that's in the ballpark of a 740 car is what it ran before. I haven't dynoed it yet, and we'll see. Maybe we'll turn it up a little bit and see what we can do. But roughly 740. We're probably shooting for a little quicker this time, and who knows, we might even get thrown out depending if I can get that damn thing turned up enough. We'll go fast. But that's it. Put it together, hit it on the dyno, see if we can make some power, drag it out July 6th, try to pick some sort of grudge race, hopefully win or at least beat somebody. And take my wife out with the Camaro, so she's gonna go for the first time. We got her a helmet, we got her a jacket, so she is almost there. I just got to find some rear tires for her and some summer tires, and that's it. So we're gonna run that, and then when it comes back here, then it's all hands on deck, and I'm gonna be kind of MIA for a little bit as far as the Maliboom goes. So maybe we'll cover some more stuff on the Camaro, and obviously lots of how-to and transmission stuff and Power Glide struggle. And so unfortunately it is car season, but I need to make these changes, so I'm gonna do it as fast as I can, but I still have to do a good job on it. And then we'll try to put this thing back together as fast as we can, and then hopefully be launching that thing off a trans brake with a 9-inch is kind of the plan. So anyway, that is it. Sorry I don't have any cool action stuff, but I figured I'd keep you guys in the loop, keep you updated. If you like this, if you want to see some more stuff moving forward, I know next week we should be hopefully doing a dyno video, but I'm trying as best I can as just a guy in a home garage on a shoestring budget and trying to bring you guys along for the ride. It might take me a little bit longer to get to some of the fun stuff, but as soon as we get that car fired up, I got a trailer now, so we can drag that thing out and we can start making some passes and racing some cars and having some fun. And then when it breaks, I'll show you guys how we fix it, and we'll do it again. If you like this, click the bell, link it, subscribe. You got to tell somebody. Tell your UPS driver. tell the postman, I think I already said the postman, tell the deli guy, when you're getting that sandwich meat at the deli and you're like, hey, give me some smoked turkey. And by the way, go watch BurnDown.